10, 9, ignition sequence start, 6.
Hello and welcome to Rocket Fuel, your daily update of everything that's happening in the Rocket Pool community. My name is Wack Attack and today is February 3rd and let's get started with the episode. So the first thing is we got this information from the Ethereum All Core Devs call. Grey Wizard shared a screenshot from a summary that said, testing out their tooling for staked ETH withdrawals before mainnet activation of Shanghai. Assuming all the public testnet launches for Shanghai go smoothly, developers are on track for a mainnet activation of the upgrade in mid-March. So, what does this mean? So here, Jasper said, where is this from? And Grey Wizard shared that it's from Christine Kim's really nice All Core Devs meeting notes. And there was a discussion with Noshua then said, so Shanghai's before Atlas. And then Jasper said, yikes, that's very tight timing for the Rocket Pool team. And Grey Wizard said, I asked Langers during the ETH staker withdrawals call and he said he is aware of withdrawals, so we're good. And then Noshua said, after March 15th rewards is kind of the earliest opportunity. So let's go back to this comment that Langers made that we have right here. Where is it? Let me see. So we have right here. So wait, where is it? Oh, wait, was that not it? I was just looking at it a second ago. When the elite B8's expected. Right here. Yeah, okay. So Ken asked Langers, he says, week of March 20th, after the 3/15, the March 15th, 23 rewards period, estimated. And then Langers replied to that by saying, that's kind of correct, estimated. Right, so I covered this. That is correct, estimated. So it seems like the reward period that happens on March 15th. If we want to take advantage of that, I'm not trying to spread FUD or anything, but we're really hoping that Atlas would come before Shanghai, just so we could like really launch into it and hit the ground completely running with withdrawals happening. This is definitely going to make things tight for the team. So I'm not sure exactly what the team stance on this is going to be or how they're going to approach it, but I'm very curious to see what they say. So Noshua says after the March 15th rewards is kind of the earliest opportunity. So that is definitely news that's coming out of today and yesterday. I think the All Core Devs call was yesterday and then the meeting notes were today. So it's going to be happening sooner than expected. Like myself and most other people thought it would happen at the end of March, beginning of April, but it seems like everything's going really smoothly and really well. So okay, so a couple of days ago we mentioned this post by Vitalik on Reflexer on the RAI forum, and in there he was talking about how Rocket Pool might have an issue because of the 16 times nETH instead of 32 times nETH. So Langers had made a post on that thread, but it was stuck in governance for a few days. But Langers' post came through governance, so it's out now. So I can share that with you. He says, "Thank you, Vitalik, for bringing this up. Obviously, we would love RAI to incorporate rETH as collateral, but we respect the risk management involved. As Vitalik said, with dsETH, you have to trust Lido's governance to maintain safety. But once that governance has been subverted, the direct cost of attack on Ethereum RAI is zero. In rETH's case, each node operator puts a collateral, currently 16 ETH moving to 8 ETH, so the cost of attack is much higher. Any attacker would have to burn through their ETH and RPL before affecting rETH collateral. rETH is designed with risk management in mind. Please find our community-driven analysis on the risk of each scenario." And then there's analysis, I think that was done by Ken. Yeah, it was done by analysis by Ken. That's right. We didn't cover this on Rocket Fuel because this was released before Rocket Fuel, but definitely go and give it a read. It's a wonderful paper. It says correlated slashing is extreme risk. rETH gives the greatest protection against all other forms of staking risk. With 0x01 initiated exits, the risk could be reduced much further by enforcing ejection earlier. We are talking to researchers and other market participants to draft an IEP. So this is happening right now where Rocket Pool, Lido, and I'm not sure if other staking organizations are involved in this push, but they should be involved in this push. And I think the team is kind of reaching out to Ethereum researchers as well to try to figure out how to get this done. Forced exits would be amazing. I said we would clearly prefer that RAI utilizes Rocket Pool's trustless and decentralized network of 2,000 plus node operators to stake ETH via rETH rather than build staking infrastructure themselves. We also recognize the need to balance network effects. Rocket Pool has 2.3% of the Ethereum stake, so we are very, very far from being an issue. Still, we have started the process of self-limiting, in principle at least, and then there's a link to the snapshot vote. So I think this was a good reply by Langers. There has not been any further reply yet. I will keep having a look at that to see if there are any further replies, but I feel like this is a discussion that's ongoing. I really wish that it hasn't already finished and like people haven't moved on from the points that were made previously without seeing what Langers said in reply to that. But yeah. Okay, so we had a look at that paper. So an interesting thing happened last week where, a proposal was created to add the rocket scientists. So today that started to be voted on. And we got votes from Rocket Pool 1, Rocket Pool 2, Rocket Pool 3, and Rocket Pool T, which are the team's 4 nodes that all voted yes. And then after that, we had Anthony Sassano voting yes, Superfizz voted yes, Crypto Manufacturer, which is Yorick, voted yes, and Beacon Chain Butter controls that account, voted yes also. So that is the 8 votes that were needed to pass the vote. And then Proteus spent some gas to execute the vote. So proposal 9 has passed and it's all good. So the rocket scientists now have been voted onto the oDAO. I'm not sure exactly what the next step in the process is. The vote has passed, so I guess next is they just get added, approved by 8 oDAO members, and then that will happen. So the vote has passed. Next is the formal approval, and then that will all be done, which is really great. Congratulations, rocket scientists. Now we've got to start working on their second node. So yesterday we had this call that was hosted by the Rocket Pool YouTube channel. It was a dsETH discussion. So that's the diversified staking ETH, staked ETH project that Index Corp, I think it's Index Corp. Yeah, that's Index. It says Index in the top. So they kind of make baskets of tokens and coins and put them together. So, we had Langers from Rocket Pool, of course. We had Jordan from Stakewise in the top right over here. We had Izzy from Lido on the bottom left. And we had Cruz, who actually works for Index Corp, who was asking the questions. I think Izzy is Freeborn in the Discord, who pops into Rocket Pool Discord quite frequently, well, less frequently now than he used to, but quite frequently before. But Trevor N.eth was kind enough to give me a summary of the call, so I can share that with you now. He says the highlights were questions about Rocket Pool's growth, Rocket Pool's permissionless node operators question, and then showing the rated.network dashboard for effectiveness ratings. There was an interesting response to Lido from Stakewise. And then there was a question about hobbyists running their own nodes with Rocket Pool, ease of user experience. I'm going to share that clip with you guys in a second. And then also there was a Discord shout out from Langers for the Rocket Pool Discord community. And then there was an explanation of what dsETH was. So the topics of discussion covered things like history of liquid staking and the rise of Rocket Pool and why stake ETH. And they talked about diversified staked ETH index, how slashing happens, how Rocket Pool protects against slashing, and then Stakewise's transition to version 3 permissionless staking, and what everyone is working on heading into Shanghai, questions about DVT, and the future of liquid staking. So this was quite a packed video. It was an hour long. We can just watch this little clip from Langers talking about the hobbyists.
Yeah, so it's really about the tooling. Rocket Pool have kind of optimized the user experience for node operators, or we try to. So we've got this thing called the Smart Node Stack, which essentially it's the simplest way to spin up a node.
Yeah, so the call was really great. If you've got an hour, you can go and give a listen to it. It tells you a lot about the diversified staked ETH product, and you can get a good insight into what Stakewise and Lido are doing as well. So it was definitely a good listen, and thank you for Trevor N for sharing the details of that. Okay, next we have this news from Joe, who says, I have shipped my 25th Proteus. I'm halfway through wave 1. So, and he says technically more because I still don't have the finalist cases yet. So, congratulations to Joe for getting through his Protei. He's sold half of them, right? It's like the first batch was of 50, and getting 25 of them out the door and shipped has been really wonderful, like really, really great. We had, let me see if I can find this picture. We had Fornax getting serial number 2 today. Let me see if I can find it. It's somewhere here. He was showing it off earlier. Oh yeah, Bossy was showing off his with his World Book Encyclopedia collection. There's Bossy's, and then we also had Fornax showing off his here's Fornax with a tweet saying, reporting for duty, serial number 2 to reporting for duty. Can't wait to show this orange bad boy to all my friends. Thanks for Schifrin for the cool design on the vanity plate, and Joe for the wonderful project. I'll be able to replace 1,000-watt beast with Proteus running at 10 watts. So it's 100x efficiency improvement. I have no idea what machine he was using 1,000 watts, but wow. And then there's a couple of pictures of here of the inside of the case, and he's got the orange case, which is really cool. And then there's the Mercadian's Proteus and serial number 2, which is really nice too. And there's the front plate with the Ethereum logo and stuff. So yeah, congratulations to Joe for getting out 25 of them, and it's really awesome that they're ending up in the hands of the community now. So good job, everyone. Okay, next we have a UK meetup for Rocket Pool that's happening. So I talked about this a few days ago, and I think they're getting kind of confirmed now. So the date being set is, I want to say, give me 1 second, is February 25th, I think. I'm sorry, I should have had that information right here. And there's a whole bunch of people who are settling. Yeah, it'll be on the Saturday, and yeah, it's gonna be exciting. I'm sorry, I can't find the exact date. I thought I had it here. Let me see. Yeah, okay, yes, on the 25th. So confirmation of the location and date of the UK meetup has happened. It'll be on the 25th of February in Nottingham, which is a city in the Midlands of England. It's quite accessible by most people, I guess. And Spaceman Daddy is local to Nottingham, so I think he's helping people get set up with hotels and restaurants and all that kind of stuff. So that's really awesome. People are trying to figure out about hotels, and they wanted to confirm numbers so Spaceman Daddy can book food and stuff. So it seems like, let me see, so far there'll be Spaceman Daddy and his brother Ramana, Zero, Selassie, and I guess if anyone else wanted to confirm that they'll be attending this, that would be really cool. I think it'll be a nice little meetup, and it's a shame that I'm not going to be in my homeland to attend this meetup. If I was in England, I would definitely have attended this, but I'll be getting ready to go to Denver, so I guess I'll have to settle for that. Okay, next we had this tweet thread from Jake Pahor, who says the Shanghai, let's see who Jake is. He's a Web3 writer and threader, simplifying DeFi and documenting his quest for financial freedom. So he had this thread about Rocket Pool, and he says the ETH Shanghai upgrade is one of the most anticipated crypto events in 2023. Can Rocket Pool leverage their liquid staking to drive RPL to new heights? This is part 7 of my deep dive series, and this is on Rocket Pool. So, gives information about staking and a lot of information about what is RPL and what's happening. So what it is for the market cap is like rank 59, and all-time high is $59.46. All-time low is less than 1 cent, so it's up quite nicely from there. It says if the upgrade is successful, then ETH can be unlocked from these staking contracts for the first time. One of the hot narratives leading up to Shanghai's liquid staking derivatives. Take a look at this article by Crypto EQ on LSDs. And then it says Rocket Pool, currently the third largest LSD by TVL, also one of the first to be conceived in 2016, focusing on permissionless nodes and decentralizations. It caters for two groups of users: tokenized staking using rETH and stake ETH and run a node. So then it just goes through all the information. That's quite good for people who are, first of all, beginners, definitely, and also for some intermediate users too, who might have some questions about how things work. But this is quite a long thread, and it's very detailed in all the information that's in there. And Jake says, I love the project even more after finding out the team is based in my hometown in Brisbane, Australia. It's a small world. There were a few funding rounds in 2017, 2018, and key investors in the project were Consensus and KR1. And then the team funding. So that, of course, is all vested and all of it's open. So yeah, MT said a fantastic breakdown of RPL, was a fun one, lots of potential. He says, agree, it was a fun one to research, huge amount of potential, one to watch for sure. So there was a lot of positive feedback to this thread, and it seemed like the kind of people who were replying to this were not necessarily the ones who are in like the Rocket Pool community. I didn't see any familiar names. So like this, has already gotten over 100 likes, 30 retweets. So it's definitely kind of spread out, and people have gotten exposure to it, which is really good. Next, we have this other tweet thread from moneysupply.lens, and this is a person who works for Maker, I think, or has set up a Maker proposal of increasing the debt ceiling of rETH to 10 million DAI, and also reducing the stability fee, which is the interest rate, to 0.5%, and planning to hold at that level for at least 3 months. So the person says, we hope this will drive adoption of an important core vault type with huge long-term potential. And then they go into giving more details about reducing the stability fees and changing the debt ceilings and of other products as well. Yeah, so you can get an idea of where rETH stands amongst those. So here there's Curve Finance, Wrapped BTC, other vaults with their debt ceilings changing. So Jasper replied by saying, DAI and rETH is shaking hands. A match made in heaven, to be honest. I hope the Maker DAO community sees the long-term potential with Rocket Pool. So it's really great that they're starting to boost up Rocket Pool. And recently we had a couple of big mints that have taken us up like quite nicely in terms of Collateral at Maker. Right, so talking about going up rankings, something interesting happened yesterday with our little pump. So Rocket Pool had a nice little pump yesterday, and the price did really well. And we ended up flipping Curve for a little while there, which is absolutely fantastic because Curve is such a well-known product and project, and it's been a staple in the Ethereum ecosystem for a couple of years now. And it's really nice to see the RPL token slowly climbing up those rankings. I remember it was just like a couple of months ago that we were breaking into the top 100, and now we're breaking into the top 60, which is really great. However, since then, we've kind of lost a little bit of our gains to go down to number 62 and then back down from where Curve is, as you can see on the top left of the screen. But you'll see that we're around and above some very interesting tokens here. So we have Curve, of course, Synthetics, Frax is right around where we are, Immutable X is one space behind, Mina Protocol is quite popular at the moment, Optimism, IOTA, which is from the 2017 bull run, Neo, again, another previous Ethereum killer that's like down there. So, we're above Maker at 78. Rocket Pool has been really showing its worth these last few months, and it's absolutely amazing that we're climbing up the rankings so well. I did say in trading a little while ago that breaking the top 50 is going to be quite hard in the very short term. Getting above like Frax and Tezos and Theta Network, but I think that should be, as minimum, kind of like our goal, heading closer to Shanghai. However, I think personally that we can 2x from where we are right here, and actually go up pretty much to maybe the top 40 even. I think that would be a stretch goal, a top 40. Yeah, of course, this is not financial advice, but that's what I want to see in these next like 6 to 8 weeks. I really think that that's what's going to happen for Rocket Pool. I'm really excited to see that. Okay, next we have this discussion that started from a comment that rplmaxi.eth made. So he says, idea, talk a little bit more about the fact that LEB8s doesn't mean your collateral ceiling is raised. I learned about that yesterday only. I wasn't around for the last RPIP vote and the apparent fight about it in the community. I feel a lot of people might not be aware of it. Might ease the sell pressure a bit post Atlas when over collateralized node operators realize their effective stake doesn't raise. So the vote happened in I think October or November about it was the last RPIP vote that we had about collateral, maximum collateral for RPL in LEB8s. So right now, so the outcome of that vote, let me just say, was that the community voted to scale with node operator ETH instead of with borrowed with the protocol ETH. So what does that mean? That means that every 8 ETH that the node operator provides to stake, they will be able to use that node operator ETH as their collateral. So it'll be 150% of that. So they will be able to collateralize their node up to 12 ETH worth of RPL at 8 ETH deposited. Right now, we have 16 ETH deposited with up to 24 ETH of RPL staked, 150%. So those percentages will actually stay the same. So per 16 ETH that will be deposited by the node operator, there will still be a maximum of 24 ETH of collateral, RPL collateral going into that. So this means that the percentages of collateral won't actually change with the new in Atlas. So they whatever is effective now will stay effective. Actually, on the upper boundaries, whatever is effective now will stay effective later. Atlas won't make your ineffective RPL more effective. Now on the lower end, however, that has changed because you'll be using 10% of protocol ETH as the minimum collateral, and that is going up from 1.6 ETH worth to 2.4 ETH worth. So that is going up by 50%, and then in future LEBs like 4s and 2s, that will go up further. So I just want to make that clear because I guess RPL Maxi is saying that some people might not be aware of that still. So I think it's interesting to let people know that that's what's going on, and that's what we'll be seeing in hopefully about 6 weeks time. So something really interesting happened this morning. Thomas put a message in to trading saying, iStorm knocked out both of my ISPs and power, and my node is now running on cell phone data. Let's hope the carrier doesn't shut me down. And he's used 262 gigabytes of data for running his node on cell phone data. So Thomas, for most of you who know, has over 900 Rocket Pool mini pools running on his node, and he is facing electrical issues. So things are not good for Thomas. Sorry, Thomas. This started an interesting discussion about how he'll get capped and what's going to happen from his data provider. And I hope Thomas gets up and running quite soon. People are definitely feeling kind of bad for Thomas because he's using so much data. It might be that his node goes down, and if his node goes down, then I think that works out to be around 7 or 8% of the Rocket Pool network will not be attesting. So yeah, good luck, Thomas. I hope your electricity gets back on ASAP. Okay, next we have this comment from Maverick. So the tweet that he's tweeting here is from Wavy0x. He says, today I learned there's a hidden fee in Frax ETH, which I'm unable to find in Frax finance documents. Only 90% of user ETH is sent to the beacon chain. The other 10% is taken out by the Frax ETH multisig, which mints a matching amount of Frax ETH out of thin air and pairs it with the ETH to LP on curve. So it's using it to provide liquidity. So people will just like, Maverick was saying, someone please study the contracts. So this started off a huge discussion in trading yesterday that went on for 3 hours. And people had a whole lot of comments about what this did and didn't mean. So we got some more comments from Valdorf, who kind of dug into it a little bit. He said, check this, and indeed 10% of the supply is simply not used for validators. Also, that value can be set to any number, like 100%, because the contracts are upgradable. And the same amount of Frax ETH is minted. If I'm reading it right, the proper interpretation is that a 10% immediate loss you take by depositing, i.e. you deposit X, the NAV represented by your minted Frax ETH is 0.9x. And he says, Jasper, can you get some information? And Noshua and Patches for a sanity check still seems nuts to me. And Patches was just like, wait, what's going on over here? I'm not sure what's going on. And then Patches goes and has a more of a look at it. He says, basically, yes, they do withhold 10% of deposits. It goes to a 3 or 5 multi-sig. They say they will mint 1 Frax from thin air for every 1 ETH withheld. And they use that to provide liquidity, which is sketch because that means Frax ETH is partially unbacked. They say this is thin air Frax ETH, which will be burned as the LP positions exited. As far as I can tell, that's at the multi-sig's discretion. They should have done a much better job of disclosing to potential depositors and should do a much better job of publicizing the performance of the LP positions. The 10% withholding rate can be changed by the 3/5 multi-sig whenever they want. And he tags Noshua and Valdorf saying, did I miss anything? And so this discussion went on for a whole long time. And people were trying to figure out what was going on, what wasn't going on. And then Valdorf said 2,100 validators. And it says just 13 million for them to personally handle because they're taking off 10% from the top. Like I said, this discussion went on for a while. And then Noshua says it looks pretty clear that that's what's happening. So that nobody was really sure what was going on and why it set like that. So what was going on, but then the original tweet that was posted was deleted. So I was like, oh wait, that's weird. Where did the original tweet go? So I asked in trading this morning before I made the episode, and I said, does anybody know what happened? And basically what has happened is it wasn't something that was hidden necessarily. It wasn't something that's secret. But what has happened is that this is happening. It's just not as much of a conspiracy as we thought it was. But it's still kind of sus. So I'm not sure where we stand on that. Maybe someone who's watching the episode today can respond to that question, and then I can cover it in the next episode on Monday. But on that note, I guess what I want to say is like a bunch of these LSDs have big question marks next to them, and I think people should be very careful when interacting with them. But I'm going to end the episode right here now. So I hope you all have a lovely weekend ahead, and I'll see you all next week. Before I finish, I just wanted to give a shout out to all the amazing people who are using the Rocket Fuel submission thread. They're doing really wonderful work, and honestly, I'm so appreciative of all the effort they're putting in there. Bravo, everyone. Like, truly, you're making Rocket Fuel, like, it's taking a lot of burden off me. So I really, truly, honestly appreciate it. And like I said, I'll be giving out $1,000 a month in rewards and prizes for helping me with this. I'm still waiting to get all the system for that set up, but even if I have to do it manually, I'll do it manually as well. So that's not a problem, but I'm hoping that we'll get something automated soon, so we can all keep track of how it's going. But thank you, everyone. Thank you for watching, listening, and yeah, being part of this great little like rocket fuel community. So have a great weekend, and I'll see you all on Monday. Bye.